Hey, what's up guys? Kevin here. I wanted to make this video for you today to talk about troubleshooting your Echo ES250 when it doesn't want to start. Now, I'm not going to talk about replacing spark plugs or replacing fuel filters or cleaning carburetors or testing compression, because there's a lot of videos online that I found that address those questions really well. I want to make this video because last week I ran into the problem where I was running the blower as a vacuum, and then when I switched it over to blower, I couldn't get it to restart. And I ended up spending half the afternoon watching videos online and looking at cleaning the carburetor and changing the spark plug and everything else. And then it was only after sitting down and reading through the owner's manual that I recognized that there was a much more simple solution to the problem. So this video is going to be about solving that problem specific to your Echo ES250. This is the model that can convert from a blower to a vacuum. If your model can't do that, then this particular solution probably won't work for you. So enjoy. Thanks. Oh, and when the video's over, if you wouldn't mind giving me a like, I would greatly appreciate that. Thanks, guys. Okay, so here we have the Echo ES250. It's the combination blower, which comes out of this end, and the vacuum, which you can set up for this side. So if you're having an issue with it starting like I had, and you don't want to go through the hassle of dealing with this side first, you know, replacing the spark plug, cleaning out the carburetor, going in here, replacing the fuel filter, you know, that kind of stuff. The first thing you need to make sure that you check is whether or not the safety switch that it engages during the vacuum mode is on. So unlike other blower models, the biggest difference between this one and other models is the fact that you can turn it into a vacuum, which is the reason why I have it and I use it as a vacuum all the time. In my particular situation, I was using it as a vacuum, and then 2 days later I went to go use it as a blower and it wouldn't start. And so I'd gone through and checked everything else and still couldn't figure it out, and finally realized that it had to do with a safety switch, which is located inside here. So this nut right here is what keeps the guard in place while you're using it as a blower. And then you loosen this and take this down to install the vacuum nozzle to it and to use it as a vacuum. What I didn't realize was that right here is a safety switch, and as long as that's engaged, then the motor will turn over. If that's not engaged, the motor won't turn over. So this engages when this guard is in place appropriately, or when you have the vacuum nozzle attached. So what happened with this particular in this particular situation is that this plastic guard and this nut in particular no longer held the guard in place to put the switch. You can see over here on this side of the guard where you've got this little pin inside the guard that pushes on the switch. So the way to fix that is pretty simple, actually. Inside the guard, the nut has a little retaining band on it, so go ahead and remove that, and then back the screw all the way out. What happens is, I think just after multiple uses, and I use it as a vacuum a lot, this guard gets pulled left and right. Sometimes I'll get it caught on my clothes, or I'll get it caught on the bag itself or something else, and I think it's kind of loosened up over time, which is going to probably become problematic in the future if this guard ever breaks, because then I'll have to deal with this safety switch. I mean, the safety switch is a good idea. The last thing you want is for your hand to accidentally go into that while the motor is on, and that would be a bad deal. But so you go ahead and remove this screw completely, and it's threaded through the plastic here, so it takes a second. Remove the screw completely and get a couple of flat washers. Put those on the screw just like that, and reinsert the screw. Like I said, it's threaded, so you can't just shove it in there, so you're going to have to work it through. There you go. And then take your little retaining, this is actually a little rubber O-ring, and it just serves to help keep that that screw in place. So what you've done now is you've backed off the distance the threads are able to go into the housing by just a few millimeters, and that's really all that is needed at this point. Now as you use it more and more, you might end up having a little bit more flex and slippage occur, and you might have to add just another washer or two, but that gets a nice tight fit. And right in here, that little safety switch is completely engaged, which should allow us to start this without any problems. So let's go ahead and give it a try. We make sure that the safety switch on the top is set to the on position. We will haven't started this yet this morning, so we'll set it in a cold start, give it a couple pumps, just depress the trigger. There we go. Now, just to show you how this safety switch works, I'm going to go ahead and undo the cover, and we'll see it automatically shut off. See, just when I got a couple of turns of tension off of it, it automatically shut off. So now that safety switch, you can hear it click when I push that in. So now that safety switch isn't engaging, and no matter what we do, this is not going to start. But tighten that down a few turns with our additional washers, and see that clicking sound is gone. There you go. And that is how you troubleshoot your Echo ES250 if it's not starting. Thanks.